think, you run into a whole host of different types of founders and entrepreneurs. And by reading financial projections, I think a quick read that you can get off the surface is, are they being conservative in their projections? Are they being overly aggressive in their projection? Then, how does what they say line up with what they're showing, right? And I think, the heuristic that a lot of venture investors tend to look for is what the entrepreneur is telling me consistent with what I'm looking at. I think an obvious metric that a lot of people will look at will be, when is the break-even point? What is the path to profitability? And do we think the amount that they're raising in this round, along with the function of growth over the course of the runway, gonna bridge them to profitability, get them closer? When do we anticipate there to be a need or not a need for a subsequent funding event? And is the founder aligned with the reality of what the numbers show? And I think frequently you run into founders that are delusional about being realistic about when they may need to raise again, when they may hit certain growth or KPI goals. But I think the biggest KPIs that we look for are some path to profitability. I think there's certainly different venture models and also different investment strategies that don't necessarily prioritize this. I think, more traditionally in venture, people will flock to companies that don't necessarily have revenue and, prioritize kind of growth at all costs. But I think one thing that we look at is that growth substantiated? Just because everyone else is willing to pay some multiple for a company that's going to raise an egregious amount of capital and burn through a lot of it with the hopes of someday reaching some sort of end goal,